This video introduces you to the basic breathing application. It covers the user interface, showing you how to use the controls to configure the feedback to your preference. Audio feedback, including the use of the threshold, is covered elsewhere. The breath is a useful object of focus in meditation practice because it's both ever-present and ever-changing. Changes reflect our passing thoughts and emotions. Even the way we pay attention is expressed in the breathing. Broadly speaking, allowing the breath to be calm, slow and steady will help your mind to be calm and stable too. The software monitors breathing by measuring the temperature of the inhaled and exhaled air. By detecting the breath's turning points, the software is able to calculate the following parameters. 1. Breathing rate. 2. The ratio of inhalation to exhalation. This is in terms of the length of time taken for each. 3. SDBR, or standard deviation of breathing rate. This is simply a measure of how variable the breathing is. When the breathing is very steady and regular, the breathing rate is fairly constant and SDBR is low. The application has two windows. This is the main window. The support window, which is only used to check breathing calibration, will be introduced later. The uppermost chart shows the short-term breathing trace. The signal rises on the inhalation and falls on the exhalation. There's only one control for this chart, and it sets the horizontal range or time scale. When you first start the application, the software takes a few seconds to calibrate to your breathing. During this time, the short-term trace won't display properly. There's no control for the vertical range, as the calibration process automatically fits the trace to the chart. Note that each breath starts from the same point on the vertical scale. Sometimes you see this as a jump in the trace. We'll return to calibration later when we cover the support window. There are three long-term charts showing the three calculated breathing parameters. Breathing rate in blue at the top, then inhalation to exhalation ratio in red, and then SDBR in orange. These three share the same time range, which is set by this control. You can set the vertical scales for the breathing rate chart and the SDBR chart using these controls. The inhalation to exhalation ratio chart has a fixed scale of 0 to 2. In this chart, a bold horizontal line represents 1.0, the point at which the inhalation and exhalation phases are exactly equal in duration. When the trace is above this line, the inhalation phase is longer, and below it, the exhalation is longer. These are the threshold display and controls, and at the bottom of the audio feedback controls. Both of these are covered in another video. This is the support window. It shows you the raw breath temperature signal and enables you to check the system is calibrated to your breath correctly. Calibration happens automatically during the first 20 seconds after you press play. You need to breathe evenly and naturally through the nose, not too slowly. If, after this time, the breath trace still doesn't look right or you get spurious numbers for your breathing rate, then it probably means the system miscalibrated. To correct this, you can either press stop and then start again, or there's a button in the support window here that you press after a short period of even and natural breathing. The key to reliable breath measurement is detection of the breath's turning points, or the beginnings of the inhalation and exhalation. This chart shows you what well-calibrated breathing looks like. These two dotted yellow lines should be positioned something like this. Neither is too close to the center of the graph or to the outer points. Once the breath is calibrated, it's generally very stable and reliable, and you don't need to make further reference to the support window. See the application's user guide and the hardware setup guide for further information.